We get asked pretty often how we got into theater, how we got into magic. I don't really answer. They don't want me to answer. They want to hear about Houdini and swindling and trickery and honest lying. The truth is more complex. How I got here is not very linear. I spent summers in the woods camping with my parents. I walked in the woods alone. I explored. And I discovered the thing that would make me who I wanted to be. The thing that put me in this show. It was a beaver trap. I found it in a stream. It was set and it caught nothing. I knew it was very dangerous. I knew it belonged to someone else. But I picked it up carefully so as not to crush my fingers. I picked it up carefully so as not to scare myself to death by setting it off accidentally. I carried the beaver trap back to my parents. My parents taught me not to steal. My parents raised me well. My parents hated trappers. They hated the whole idea of a trap that couldn't close tight enough to break the bone, or the tortured, panicked animal would be able to chew its leg off too swiftly. To them, I was a hero. I'd saved an innocent animal from a horrible death, and I could keep the trap as a reminder of the cruelty of some of my species and a promise that I would grow up differently. I didn't care about any of that. I just wanted to keep the trap, and now it was mine. When summer was over, I carried the beaver trap back to my home. I kept it in my room. I oiled it. I decided I would become an expert. I got my first job. I was route supervisor for a giveaway newspaper. I was a spot checker. I went door to door and made sure the other paper boys had done their jobs properly. I bought mouse and rat. I bought prairie dog and weasel. I filled gumball machines one summer, and I bought otter and wildcat. I learned everything about the traps. I learned how some traps are set in the water so the animal will drown. I learned how every trap is marked with a number that indicates the strength of the jaws. I learned how the chain that comes off the trap is not attached to a tree, but rather to a log called a drag, which confuses and tires the animal, but doesn't allow it any leverage. I kept my respect and conquered my fear. I sent away for books and catalogs from the back of Field and Stream magazine. Whenever one came in the mail, as soon as I'd opened it, I'd write in the front. I'd write the date. I'd write how much I paid, the address to which I had sent, and then I'd write my name. And after my name, I'd put a comma. And after the comma, in quotations, I would write, King of Animal Traps. When I got older, I washed dishes for a whole summer and bought bear. I finally had a bear trap. It came in a box. It was used. It was an antique, a piece of Americana. It was really big, a little rusty, with big menacing teeth that frightened me more than could possibly frighten any animal. When this trap was set off, the force of the jaws would be such that would probably destroy the pelt of anything smaller than a bear. To set this trap, I knew you needed a tool. The trap was too strong to set by standing on it. The mechanism was too powerful to be moved with my full body weight. I needed a tool to pry open the bars, a tool to get it set, and I mastered it. I was not an animal. I was human. I had a thumb. I had sense in my head, and I could set the trap and not be harmed. I could set the trap, get the bait, and not be injured. I was king of animal traps. I showed my classmates my skill. They were impressed, but not impressed enough that I felt I could make it a career. So I broadened my horizons, and I diluted my goals. And that's how I got to be half of Penn and Teller.